Hi everybody, my name is Splattercat and we're here at the Nerd Castle today playing the next episode in Stoic Studios' esteemed RPG strategy title, The Banner Saga. Let's go ahead and click our woolly little friend down here and we'll do our recap. In the previous episode, we had met up with a couple of brothers, and in taking their side in an inter-clan conflict, we had ended up gaining a whole bunch more people for our caravan. So we're up to almost 500 men, 79 fighters, morale's looking pretty good, we've got some surplus renown, a little bit of extra supplies, but that's about it. So, woolly thing, I pet you, let us depart. Hopefully, I'm really hoping there's no events today. We have a couple people who are wounded. At a small split in the trail, a few fighters stop to speak with you, each carrying a single pack. We recognize this place, one man says. Spent several years here with some kin. If they're still around, we have to warn them of what's coming. With luck, we'll find you again in less than a week. We have 9 days worth of supplies. I can't imagine we're not going to make it through a town before long, so we're going to send them off with extra supplies. They are, after all, kinsmen of the people we're trying to get to follow us around, so maybe it'll help. If that's all you're taking, you may never make it. Grabbing a few items from a supply wagon, you strap the additional provisions to their backs. Search for family instead of food. You say with a smile. The men clasp wrists with you before departing. Yeah, manly Viking handshake. Nothing says manly Viking handshake like that thing where they grab each other's elbows and they're like, "Hurr." And we lose 8 fighters. It's alright though, we gain some renown, so our story is kind of building up a little bit. Complaints of Rafnsvartr's excessive drinking have resurfaced. This time the man stumbled over some tent ropes, pulled the snag canvas through a campfire, nearly setting a supply wagon aflame. Clansmen put out the fire, but... oh, never mind. Clansmen put out the fire on both the wagon and Rafnsvartr's leg before leading him to you. Let's go ahead and we're gonna dry him out. Rafnsvartr groggily agrees, slurring his way through promises to quit before being such a nuisance. Or to quit for being such a nuisance. Many of the onlookers snort or roll their eyes, but go back to their business. Somehow you doubt it'll be long before Rafnsvartr manages to find another drink, whether you'll allow it or not. Yeah, well, at that point, we're gonna string him up from the stockade. Hang him up by his wrists and let people throw nasty tomatoes and nasty rotten mushrooms at him. Dredge, shouts a man from the back of the caravan. It's Rafnsvartr, the unabashed drunk, staggering towards you, looking not entirely sober. He screams again, pointing to trees in the distance. Fear races through the caravan as fighters pull their weapons. Scouts return with no sightings, and furious men surround Rafnsvartr. God. Well, this is a tough call, because we've got 3 options. We can banish him from the caravan. We can let our clansmen deliver justice to him, but we don't have any proof that he didn't see anything out there. Our scouts say they didn't see anything, but what if they ran back into the forest, the dredge that is, or we can ready ourselves just in case. Let's ready ourselves. There'll be time for that later, you tell the men. For now, we take no chances. A full day of uneasy rest passes with no sign of dredge. The caravan is annoyed by the scare and the delay. Eventually, Rafnsvartr bursts into laughter and you're sure there never were any dredge. Not long after, Rafnsvartr goes missing. Nobody searches for him or seems to mind. So we got burned. I tried to do the right thing right there, tried to make everybody happy, but unfortunately this seems like the sort of game where that tone of action is just not going to work. Our morale has become poor. Great. Let's camp. Where is that at?
Once a strong, thriving city, the walls of Frostvellr now just keep the howling winds at bay. With luck, they'll hold out against dredge as well.
We appear to have accidentally triggered something at the same time. So we're camping here for now. They said that camping is going to increase our renown, and I'm not entirely sure how I schedule to stay here for another day. Because I would like renown to recover. I'm sorry, not renown. I would like our morale to recover a little bit. I can't have people ditching out on us and leaving. That'd be really, really bad. It looks like it bypassed a day already. But Frostvellr's right here, so it should be alright. Oh, we were in Skogir. I said in the last episode we were in Frostvellr. We were on our way to Frostvellr, it appears. I'm having trouble keeping all these names straight. I never understand what's going on. I spend my life in a constant state of confusion. Nothing new there. That is a huge banner. The wind drag factor on this thing must be completely and totally inefficient. We should situate it the other way and use it as kind of like a cow sail. I'm calling those things cows from now on because they're the only relatable animal. I guess they're like oxes or oxen. I guess that's how you pluralize ox. But anyways, you jostle through fallow crowds of sunken faces who appear as though they've been freezing in front of Frostvellr for days. The gates are closed. You come to a stop at the bottom of the hill. This isn't looking good. Why are there so many people in the fields? We can't stay outside in the open like this. Oddleif finds you amongst the many refugees. Rook, I just talked to some of the women here. Nobody is being left into the city. Why? It's overrun with varl from Blotsbalker, Greyhorn, people from Bitra, all the nearby villages, the dredger everywhere. And the chieftain of Frostvellr has locked himself in his great hall. That's when they close the gates. When the dredge come, these hills will turn red. We have to get in there, and not because they're shy. I suppose... Where else could we go? With our whole caravan? South, but Sigerholm and Borsgard are so far away that they may as well be horseborn lands. The dredge are moving south. If we keep going west, we might get out of their path. Wormtoe is half as far as Sigerholm and full of varl. And across the wastes. These people won't make it. I don't like any of these ideas. That's because they're all bad. There's no point talking about leaving. We have to get in there. Well, we're getting in the wall somehow. Ivor says that he can get the gate open. Let's see if there's any other way before we start breaking down gates. Yeah, because we've got to rebuild them, and what if they attack in collusion with us? So we collude with the enemy by knocking down the gate right as they come at us. I don't think your awesome horns and scary beard are going to save us, my friend. I wasn't going to break it. I was just going to push really hard. But didn't they just say that there was a bunch of the giant Viking guys inside? In either case, let's head off to the market and see if we can't get some more supplies. Our morale's looking a little bit weak. We only have 5 days worth of supplies left, so we should probably get a little bit more into our packs before we make any other plans. We've got a statue. I thought that said statue of a shirtless man. Like, that must be one of those ones for Oddleif, but no, he's sightless. Never mind, he can't see. Read that one completely and totally wrong, and that's weirdly Freudian, I will add. The Dragonstone. +3 to your willpower. Wow, that's really, really good. That one gives you +20 dodge for strength attacks and +2 to strength. Wow, that thing's amazing too, but it's got a pretty high requirement for your renown level. The Singing Stone. 2 will per kill. It kind of reminds me of an item from Munchkin, the Singing Sword, how it's obnoxious and it never shuts up and stops singing show tunes. Not gonna risk that one. Charm of the Wandering Mind. 20% dodge right there. The Bloodshed Coins. +1 will per kill. Well... we get 3 supply. I'm gonna buy what they have for now. Wait, is there a limited amount that we can grab? Oh, it looks like there is. Okay, total available 21. I know my numerals. I can read. That guy looks completely and totally depressed. We need to get him, like, I don't know. We need to get him some Zoloft or something stat because he does not appear happy with the situation. With our leftover cash, we could buy something else right here. That's a really, really good item. I mean, once we level somebody up to that point, it would be incredibly useful. I'm gonna go for it. It seems too good to bypass, and then we're gonna confirm our order. There it is. We only have 8 renown left to go. We're not gonna be able to upgrade anybody with that amount, but hopefully we'll get ourselves into a fight in between here and the next round of episodes. I guess we can take a look. What does rest do? You spend a whole day at the rest houses. Everyone gives you the same story. The chieftain just shut himself in his great hall and closed the gates. There are a lot of wounded people here, says Alette. We could help him. Ego pulls you aside. I followed the outside of the city walls, and there's a water passage we could squeeze through, I think. Not the whole caravan, but if a handful of us get in, we might open the gates from the inside. The rest house is overflowing with refugees, the sick and wounded and noise. I guess we'll tend to the wounded first. Alette and Oddleif spend the day with others in your caravan treating wounds, most of which came from the archers at the gates. I overheard from one woman that the city has been sending carts with food around. Oddleif tells you. Could be a way in. Ivor replies, next time they send a cart, we bring it back in. Oddleif protests. Aside from leading to a fight, it would probably mean no more food for the refugees. We'll leave the food cart alone. I don't want to get involved if others are going to suffer for it, you say, and return back to what we were doing. Let's check out the water passage. We haven't done any combat in this episode anyway, so we'll see if we can get ourselves into a little rowdy how fist fight, scrum, whatever you want to call it. Ivor says, I'm not fitting through here. When you arrive at the narrow ducts, go without me. It looks like it'll get you to the top of the walls, then down to the gate where we can open it. Alright, wait for us there, Ivor. We'll be back. When Egil said water, you should have guessed runoff. Still, you managed to squeeze your way through tight stonework and force your way past an iron grate. You take stairs to the top of the walls. As you approach the gates, armed men take notice. They don't ask questions. Alright, it's time to get down with our bad self. We can bring Trigvi or we can bring Alette. I'm gonna bring... we have a lot of melee already, but we already have range too. I'm gonna stick with a few people that can take the front lines. Alright, and so there it is. Let's cue ourselves as ready and be on our way. I don't know if it's going to be worthwhile. That's another thing that I was thinking about as I was kind of pondering the game a little bit ago. Oh, we're surrounded. That's going to be super whack and weak. And then these guys over here, they're just like, you know, you guys can fist fight if you want, or axe fight, or sword fight, or whatever the hell you want to fight. This isn't our battle. Well, at least we're not outnumbered. There is a small bonus. There's a little bit of refuge to be taken in the notion that at least it's not too bad of a fight. I'm gonna situate everybody sort of like this, I think. And we'll adapt to how we want to do this. I think between these two, they should be able to whack that guy before he gets anywhere near us. We'll really, really hope that Mogan can handle everybody in the back. Because over here, they've got two amassed. God, I feel kind of guilty about this. I should swap this out slightly so that we've got two melees and a range at each location. There we go. That's looking a little bit more kosher. I think I like that situation a bit better. Alright, let's queue it up. We start the battle off, and so it looks like it's going to be Eggles up first. I'm going to move him forward, and who attacks first? So that guy's coming up pretty soon, and who is this? That's him right there. He can't do anything to us unless he expends some willpower. So since neither of these gents down here is going to move anytime soon, or at least we're going to get a move before they do, I'm going to move him into the right there. That was a bad decision on my part. I should have done something smarter. Although they are staggered slightly, so it was going to be bad either way. We'll go ahead and take a swipe at him, and we are going to use willpower. We're going to lower his strength as far as we can, so he's down to 5 strength now. Oh, he managed to use up a bunch of willpower. Alright, well, I guess I couldn't assume there. But in any case, let's go ahead and get started over here. I'm going to jump in this spot. And we're going to trigger Bloody Flail nice and early since we can't really get anything else done anyways. His strength is too low. And I would love to get some extra damage done. And there it is. 4 damage done. His armor's now been reduced slightly. Oh my god, are you serious right now? I sincerely wish there were attacks of opportunity so you could lock out nasty little blitzkriegs like that. Because in a certain respect, it's like, what do you even do here? When does he move? And him. Okay, so they're a little far off, and he's got a while. I suggest we divert this way, and we're going to fight this battle over here if we can pull it off. I could help out on this side, but I think I might do that with Trigvi first. Oh, it's going to take him a little bit extra to get through there. He's got 6, so it'll work out okay. We're going to burn 2 right there. And then on this side, we're going to get going with the exact same thing we did before. He did all strength damage, which isn't something... Wait, I thought I checked him already. This is a weird situation. I thought I checked him for being the next one. Well, I should have rushed that way then. I screwed up hardcore mode. I'm just playing terribly right now. She can't do anything, which is really, really bad. With 9 strength, everybody here seems to have her pretty much outclassed. Which is really unfortunate. I'm going to go for an armor sunder on that side. It's only going to do 2 for us, which isn't very helpful, but at least it's something. And see, like that right there, attack of opportunities really need to be in games like this, because you wouldn't be able to just walk past somebody. Like, he's squared away right here, and you just get walked right past you. It just doesn't make sense from a combat standpoint. I don't think anybody would actually allow that to happen, especially somebody that's holding a shield line. It's kind of a frustrating occurrence that I don't really like that much. I want to pull these guys like so. He can attack diagonally, but it's not going to help us out right now. Instead, what I'd rather do is get them formed up on this side. We're going to use Impale on him. Alright, so he wasted his turn just kind of moving. On this front, he's pretty much combat ineffective. He's worthless to us right now. He's not going to be able to accomplish much. And there's nowhere he can move either without completely and totally just getting ambushed. So who's up next? Him. I wish it had little numbers above their heads that said the turn order so I could figure out who's going where. So he's coming up after... Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'll move him down this way. And we're going to mark prey. I shouldn't have done that. I should have marked prey right there. Should have marked prey right there. I keep forgetting that marked prey is not a ranged attack. As much as I wish it to be, it is not. We're going to shatter his armor. Well, what about this guy? Who here is still... Yeah, he's probably the best target for it, so let's go ahead and shatter it. And there it is. Ooh, he pretty much just sacrificed his life. I don't know why he did that. He probably should have just jumped back in with Trigv, but whatever. I make terrible decisions, so I can't really judge the AI for doing it either. I'm gonna move him to there. And we're just gonna go for a straightaway attack on this side. And we are gonna hit as hard as we possibly can because he's in such a dire situation that I can't come close to letting Rook get wounded. Oh, he has the same ability. That's funsies. That is an enjoyable experience. We can either deal 2 damage. We're going to go for the same thing here. We don't have an option. I've just got to keep dealing as much damage as I can. And it all went after armor, unfortunately. On this side, with the way the combat works, since you can't work diagonals, it's weird. Unfortunately, it's difficult to get people adjacent to one another. We can deal 3 damage to him. And where is his turn at? He's coming up after Trigv, and also after her. Who is that right there? Okay. We run a few distinct risks right here. They've got themselves in an interesting spread, which means they're sort of inchoate right now. They're gaseous. And I don't mean because they've had too much cabbage. What I mean by that is the fact that they could collapse at any moment and kind of make like a dense configuration of units, which could completely slaughter one guy if I plan this wrong. She's got plenty of armor and health left, so I may just kind of leave her. Let's step to there, and we're just going to do Bloody Flail again. He's going to get his turn, and my assumption right there is that they were more than likely, what are those, shield walls? So that might be why they're trying to collapse like that. They realize that they're losing the fight numerically. They're trying to get themselves into a position where they can soak a little bit more damage instead of dying in droves. He's pretty much out now, so that'll work out. Yeah, that shield wall is getting kind of interesting. We may have to use Trigv in order to force them out of it. So what we'll do is we'll use him as a sort of spotter. So he'll be on the line, he'll push somebody out of the line so that they lose their armor bonus, and then after that we pretty much just open up on them. Unfortunately, Trigv does not have an absolute load of strength left. I think I'm just going to move him to right there, and we'll end his turn. He's going to use Flail. And on this side, the things that we want to accomplish is let's get rid of this chant. Or at least marginalize him. So there's 6 damage right there. And then we'll kind of carefully watch what he's going to do in the next little bit. If we can trigger that right there... Oh, never mind, it's a toggle. Okay, fantastic. Well, we've got one right there. We could definitely score some kills in this round. And I do want to make sure that Gil kills somebody because he's been falling behind on the experience curve in my experience. So I want to make sure that he's at least able to like contribute somehow. Over here we've got a couple guys that have really good strength and that could hurt us. However, for now I think it's best probably to kill somebody. So when is his turn? He's up next. So he's going to be our victim. And I actually wanted to try this out anyways to see if it'll shift this guy into his place. If it does, it's just like, well, now what do I do? It's very, very difficult to forestall the enemy's turn in this game. So keep an eye down here. Ah, it does. It allows him to take the place of the other guy. So see that right there? I'm not sure that I like the chess-like gameplay that they force you into, where no matter what you do, you can't get yourself a double turn. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird way to arrange a strategy game. And it is chess-like. You know, chess goes in turns, checkers goes in turns, so clearly it works. It's just something that I'm having trouble adapting to since most games don't function that way. It's a very unique way of organizing a strategy game. So on this side, we're going to need to pull him back. That's my big terror, is I wish you could attack and then move. But with all of these guys sort of coagulating right here, I need to pull him back because he's going to be susceptible to getting annihilated really, really soon. So let's back him off slightly and see if we can get everything to focus on Gil for a little bit. Okay, so that's what I was hoping for. I've got a little bit more damage being done there. Let's kill off this gentleman. Who knows if he's a gentleman? He could be a total dick. Either case, he could be a total... Oh no! Okay, so see, like I said right there, it's incredibly difficult to escape from somebody that wants you in this game. It's booty warrior style. Her movement is god-awful. I'm going to... Let's just have her sunder armor for now. And there it is. His armor is now taken care of, so he doesn't have any anymore. And we need to start refocusing our group to get back into combat. They're going to get a bunch of turns right here, in which they're going to be able to cause just all kinds of a ruckus. His armor is still too high to get anything done. All of these guys have really, really high armor right now. I'm going to take the chance on him. With a 90%, we should be able to get him. Okay, so we've managed to kill somebody off at least. We're not totally surrounded anymore. They took out one of our guys. I think it's almost impossible to make it through a battle without losing somebody in this game. It's just so evenly matched every single time that you're going to have to trade with somebody. Especially with the way it's every other turn is the enemy. So even if they have one guy, that means their one guy gets like 30 turns to every one that your characters get. So what are you going to do about it? Over here, we need to make sure that somebody gets gibbed. He can only spend one. I'm going to step to right there. And I'm going to pick the guy that I can hurt the worst, since we're getting towards the end of the battle anyways. Let's hit him as hard as we can in order to keep him out of the fight. Bit of damage dealt to our tank, unfortunately. Let's get people moving. Since we've got Rook here, the next turn we're going to want to use his mark ability, especially if we can get either Trigvi in here to flank or do something like that. We got to do something here. Alright, so we got a freebie dodge right there, which is an amazing boon. That's going to be related to the fact that he's wearing a necklace or something like that that allows him to get random dodges. Just one of those nice little things that we've picked up along the way. Yep, probably going to lose Eggle here, unfortunately. I should have shield walled him instead of trading for one kill. That was a bad decision for me. Ooh, he deflected it. And so now he's in shield wall mode, and with 5 armor, that means he could conceivably be perfectly fine if I shield wall him. So let's have him curl up in a pile behind a piece of wood and really, really hope that his wood is magical and manages to save him. Yeah, there it is. Fantastic. I didn't think about how long it was going to take me to get across the battlefield here. Oh. How did he deal that much damage? Hold on. He did 3 and he resists 3, so how did that kill him? He must have used one of his willpower. I'm gonna stick him right here. And he's gonna make a pass at this guy. On this side, we're gonna do kind of a dual ability. We're gonna take Mark Prey. We're just gonna get that going right there because it's gonna hurt his armor, and it's also gonna mean that Trigvi gets a free strike on him, which isn't enough to take him out of the fight, but it is enough to hurt him to the extent that he's not gonna be quite as terrifying as he's been for the rest of this battle. Stepping into here, we're gonna go with Bloody Flail on him and hope that all 4 hit his strength. Hey, we lucked out. Fantastic. Amazing! This guy's gone into pillage mode. We've deflected the damage right there. And that should end the battle. So a very, very murky battle. That one was definitely furrier than Chewbacca's ass. Didn't go very well for us. But in any case, at least the battle's done, and we're in the middle of a city, which means we could conceivably just kind of hang out for a day or two, although we are out of supplies, so something else to think about. Ekil says, "What in the depths are you doing?" "Letting ourselves in." "I see that, I'm very impressed. But all those people you just let in here? Dead. All those women and children with you? Dead. And thanks for killing the only ones holding this place together, Scal." "What are you talking about?" The man orders his guards to get the doors closed again before more refugees notice. "If I knew there were fighters and a varl outside, I would have brought you in. I'm Ekil. I'm in charge here." "You heard about the chieftain?" "We heard he's hiding in a great hall." "Oh, really? You think you mean hiding out in a grave? He's eating worms if that wasn't clear." "What happened in here?" "Soon as they heard Dredge were coming, anyone who couldn't swing an axe got one to the head. That's the short story anyways. At least 3 clans were in here warring over turf and food, and the worst are the godforsaken varl." He eyes Ivor and shrugs with exaggeration as if simply stating the obvious. "We're in more danger in here than out there?" "Look, I was in charge here before things went to crap. You've got some people who can fight, you've got your own varl, and that counts for something. I can keep your flock safe in the Great Hall. You fight for me, and we'll take back Frostvellr." "I don't take sides. Too hard to tell when the good guys have become the bad." "Fine, cut these sheep loose and watch your own asses. What do I care? All I want to do right now is get out of the damn streets. Think carefully about what you want." I said, "But we're gonna fend for ourselves inside Frostvellr." You can feel Ekil sizing you up on the spot, his hand hovering near his axe. He snorts through his nose, changing his mind. "Well, good luck then. Hope we don't meet again fighting the same scraps." With the gates closed, Ekil and his men disappeared down dark alleys. "Hope we know what we're doing. Making up as we go, Ivor." Chapter 3, Little Did They Sleep. It appears as though we're moving forward in the storyline. Hopefully this doesn't get too wild because we are running out of time right now. I was taking a look at the map in between episodes and it appears as though there's going to be a lot of stuff to explore. I don't even remember what was happening over here with this group. I think the king had been killed and then something else happened, so whatever, I don't know. Hack on, we're back. I was able to get about as many warriors from Strand as you wanted and more weapons. Extra supplies too. You perk up just now realizing Mogir has been talking to you. Since Vognir died, everyone has been looking to you to make the decisions and it's been exhausting. Hack on? I heard you. I was saying the varl we sent to Strand have returned. The governor gave us most of what we wanted. Good enough. Much resistance from the governor? Some. I don't think he was happy about us buying his fighters using his own money. He also insisted we take on a lackey of his to watch over his property, a man named Eric. Eric? I met him. He seemed pretty competent enough. Regardless, the governor will have to get over it unless he wants Dredge crawling through his streets. We've put down every slag that's wandered through here while you were gone. Enough flapping of mouths then. You sure that wound is healed, Luton? I agree. Enough has already gone wrong. If something happens to the prince on a mission of peace, the alliance would rot. Or worse. Well, Luton's able to make his own decisions. I mean, he's trying to make his way, I guess. We can bring a prince along. We would only be made to do this again later, and I will not suffer it all the second time. Either take us through the wandering road or do your job and slaughter some Dredge. Luton turns abruptly with a scowl. He stamps back to his ring of tents and followers. Wandering road's not an option with this many. I could crush that boy's skull with one hand. If Luton won't be deterred, you'll have to deal with it. Don't let him get to you. Let go. I'm sick of looking at this dump. What do I tell the warriors, Hakon? Well, tell them to be cautious. No more losses. Well, We could cover the mountainside and dredge bodies. Let's hold our ground. Good. Give the word and we'll set off. Alright, so this is going to be the point at which I'm going to break off the episode. My name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle for another episode of Stoic Studios, the Banner Saga. I hope you guys have been enjoying it. I love this game, so it's no problem for me to show up and record a few tidbits, a little snippety snippet here and there. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Take care and farewell.